Netflix's live-action Cowboy Bebop was terrible, and when Netflix canceled it, I personally thought that it was hilarious because they butchered the original story, and now the original creator of Cowboy Bebop has come out slamming the live action, admitting he couldn't even get through one whole episode of it. I have a bunch of things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. So, I wanted to start with this Bounding into Comics article. Cowboy Bebop creator says he was only able to stomach one scene of Netflix's live action adaptation. Now, I talked a lot about this adaptation on the channel because you had cast members attacking critics, you had the media trying to defend this series, and ultimately, we saw the demise of this live action because Netflix decided it wasn't profitable enough, it wasn't bringing viewers in, and that they were going to cancel it after one season, even though they didn't tell the whole original story. And now things are looking even worse because, of course, when you have the original creator of something attacking an adaptation, it just makes the project look even worse. So it says it seems that it wasn't just fans who were unhappy with Netflix's absolute mishandling of the beloved space western series, as the original anime creator has admitted that he couldn't bring himself to suffer through more than one scene of the streaming service's live-action abomination. I remember when this series was originally coming out, Watanabe was actually pretty quiet on it, and people thought that he was supportive of it and excited for it, but now we know that he was not on board with what they were creating. He said for the new Netflix live-action adaptation, they sent me a video to review and check, he recalled. It started with the scene in a casino, which made it very tough for me to continue. I stopped there and only saw that opening scene. It was clearly not Cowboy Bebop, and I realized at that point that if I wasn't involved, it would not be Cowboy Bebop. I felt that maybe I should have done this, although the value of the original anime is somehow far higher now, and of course it is, because when they are releasing trash compared to the absolute masterpiece that is the original Cowboy Bebop, it's going to draw people into the original and praise it more and say, yeah, wow, this is, so amazing, it is so perfect, they couldn't even come close to that. I think that it is pathetic for Netflix that they couldn't even get the original creator to support this in any way, shape, or form. I mean, he is outright trashing it, and it deserves to be trashed. I watched it so that I could talk about it on the channel and, give a mini review on it, and I hated it. I mean, it was just not good at all. It seemed so low budget, the sets were really bad. I didn't hate all of the actors that were cast, but a lot of them just felt off. In my opinion, Mustafa Shakir was the best actor that they cast, and he, of course, played Jet Black. But, I mean, I liked, Spike's casting, but the actor was, 25 years older than the character was supposed to be. It just didn't fit for me. Faye's actress Daniela Pineda caused a lot of controversy around this series, and then the other castings just didn't really fit either, in my opinion, except for Julia. I thought that she was pretty good, but of course you only see her in a couple of very short scenes, so I just don't really think that anything with this series was to die for and was to be praised. I thought the CGI was pretty okay. It was good at times, but again, it pales in comparison to the awful things that this show, presented to us. Not only did he share his distaste for Netflix's adaptation, but he also opened up about his general distaste for the Hollywood machine. He says that I got to work with people in Hollywood. Working with those kinds of individuals is always difficult. This is because at the beginning they promised me that I could do whatever I want, but that's just lip service. Actually, I had a big altercation with a Hollywood producer on the Animatrix. He recounted he would always come with these stupid requests just so he could identify his own contribution. As the requests were stupid and made no sense, I rejected all of them, and unfortunately, I couldn't win this situation, so I had to concede on some of these things. So it definitely seems like he still has a bad taste in his mouth when it comes to Hollywood and some of the creatives in the industry, and I'm sure seeing his absolute masterpiece be massacred this way also doesn't really help that and doesn't change his opinion. But it wasn't just him that hated this series. Of course, fans also really disliked it. As you can see on Rotten Tomatoes, the critic score is sitting at a 47%, so that is low, but the audience score is at a 60. I will note that when the show was canceled, it was actually positively review bombed. There were hundreds of positive reviews put on because they were hoping to make the score look better, so maybe Netflix would renew it. It was originally at like a 48 to a 50 though, so it did go up by like 10 to 12%, but a 60 is still not great, a 47 is still awful, and honestly, I'm glad that they canceled this show. Usually I say I'm hopeful that shows will get renewed, even if I don't like them, because there are people out there who will, at the end of the day, enjoy the content that was created. But I was so sad with what they did with Cowboy Bebop. They didn't even tell the original story in the first season. If they had stuck to the source material, they wouldn't have even needed another season, and obviously they didn't greenlight it for multiple at once, so it just ended up being a disaster for Netflix, for all of these actors. We've even seen like Daniela Pineda come out and say that she really wanted her own Face spinoff and she's going to fight to play the character again. You're never going to get a chance to do that. She was actually a big reason why the show had so much bad press leading up to the release, because of course she kept going on about how it's not going to be completely source material accurate, and you're just a hater if you're not going to watch it, and you're an istinophobe if you don't like the changes that they made, and you don't like the casting decisions that they made. Of course, all of that lovely Hollywood speak, but as you can see, Cowboy Bebop is still rated terribly. Nobody has come to its defense, and even the original creator of Cowboy Bebop has said that he couldn't even stomach the whole season or even one whole episode. He only got through one single scene of Netflix's live-action adaptation. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.